One of the greatest tennis players in history, Roger Federer has won a record 19 Grand Slam singles titles. Synopsis. Born in 1981 in Switzerland, Roger Federer was among his country's top junior tennis players by age 11. He turned pro in 1998, and with his victory at Wimbledon in 2003 he became the first Swiss man to win a Grand Slam singles title. Federer has won a record-setting 19 Grand Slam singles championships. In July 2017, the tennis star won a record-breaking 8th Wimbledon title and became the oldest men's champion in the Open era at the age of 35. Early life. Tennis star Roger Federer was born on August 8, 1981, in Basel, Switzerland, to Swiss father Robert Federer and South African mother Lynette Durand. Federer's parents met while on a business trip for a pharmaceutical company, where they both worked. Federer took an interest in sports at an early age, playing tennis and soccer at the age of 8. By age 11, he was among the top 3 junior tennis players in Switzerland. At age 12, he decided to quit other sports and focus all his efforts on tennis, which he felt he excelled at more naturally. By 14, he was fully immersed in the game, playing 2 or 3 tournaments per month and practicing 6 hours a week, along with up to 3 hours of conditioning. To perfect his technique, he often imitated his idols, Boris Becker and Stefan Edberg. At age 14, Federer became the national junior champion in Switzerland, and was chosen to train at the Swiss National Tennis Center in Koblenz. He joined the International Tennis Federation Junior Tennis Circuit in July 1996, and had his first sponsorship by age 16. In 1998, shortly before he turned pro, Federer won the Junior Wimbledon title and the Orange Bowl. He was recognized as the ITF World Junior Tennis Champion of the Year. Record-setting career. Federer won the Wimbledon boys, singles and doubles titles in 1998, and turned professional later that year. At Wimbledon in 2001, he caused a sensation by knocking out reigning singles champion Pete Sampras in the 4th round. In 2003, following a successful season on grass, Federer became the first Swiss man to win a Grand Slam title when he emerged victorious at Wimbledon. At the beginning of 2004, Federer had a world ranking of No. 2, and that same year, he won the Australian Open, the US Open, the ATP Masters and retained the Wimbledon singles title. He was ranked No. 1 at the start of 2005, and his successes that year included the Wimbledon singles title for a 3rd successive year, and the US Open. Federer held on to his No. 1 ranking from 2004 into 2008. In 2006 and 2007, he won the singles championships at the Australian Open, Wimbledon and the US Open. A paragon of graceful athleticism, Federer was named the Laureus World Sportsman of the Year from 2005-08. In 2008, Federer beat Scottish player Andy Murray at the US Open, his 5th US Open win. However, that year proved to be a difficult time in Federer's career. He lost to rival Rafael Nadal at both the French Open and Wimbledon, and lost to another young star, Novak Djokovic, at the 2008 Australian Open. His ranking also slid to No. 2 for the first time in 4 years. The 2009 season was a memorable one for the Swiss star. He beat Robin Soderling to win the French Open and complete the career Grand Slam, and defeated Andy Roddick in an epic Wimbledon final to surpass Sampras for a record 15th Grand Slam singles title. Federer also reached the finals of the 2 other major tournaments, falling in 5 sets to Nadal at the Australian Open and to Juan Martín del Potro at the US Open. His brilliant all-around play enabled him to regain the world's No. 1 ranking. Federer's career escalated once again in 2012, when he defeated Andy Murray for a record-tying 7th Wimbledon singles title. The victory helped the 30-year-old tennis star return to the No. 1 spot, and by the end of the year he had established a record with a total of 302 weeks atop the world rankings. In 2013, Federer made a surprise departure from Wimbledon. He was knocked out of the singles competition in the 2nd round by Sergei Stakhovsky, who was ranked 116th at the time. At the US Open, Federer again struggled on the court. He was beaten by Spain's Tommy Robredo in the 4th round, losing in 3 straight sets. According to the US Open website, Federer admitted that he struggled throughout, which is not very satisfying, his confidence seemingly shaken by the loss. He lamented how he missed so many opportunities and that his rhythm was off during the match. Federer battled Djokovic in the 2014 men's singles final at Wimbledon, but was denied a record 8th championship on the famed grass courts in a 5-set loss. He then lost in the semi-finals of the US Open to hard-hitting Croatian Marin Cilic, who went on to win the tournament. Federer's 2015 season began on a disappointing note with a loss to Italy's Andreas Seppi in the 3rd round of the Australian Open. He proved he could still compete with the sport's elite players by defeating Djokovic to win the Dubai Championships in February, but his quest for a second French Open crown was thwarted with a quarter-final loss to countryman. Federer charged through the draw at Wimbledon a month later, but he was defeated in the final by Djokovic, delaying his quest for a record 8th title for at least another year. His fate was the same at the US Open. Despite an impressive showing that suggested career Grand Slam title no. 18 was on the way, Federer simply could not get past the top-ranked Djokovic in a hard-fought final. In July 2016, Federer didn't make it to the Wimbledon finals either. He was defeated in 5 sets by Milos Raonic in a historic victory for Raonic, who became the first Canadian man to reach a Grand Slam final. Earlier that year, Federer lost the Australian Open to Novak Djokovic, and after their match Federer was sidelined with a knee injury. Later in the season, Federer suffered back problems, and he was forced to withdraw from the French Open to avoid further injury. After 6 months spent recuperating from his injuries, Federer made a triumphant comeback, defeating Rafael Nadal at the Australian Open to win his 18th Grand Slam title. After his win, Federer graciously paid tribute to his opponent Nadal. "I'd like to congratulate Rafa on an amazing comeback, too," he said. "I don't think either one of us thought we would be in the final at the Australian Open this year. I am happy for you. I would have been happy to lose to you tonight, too, really." In July 2017, Federer set a new record, winning his 8th Wimbledon title in a 6-3, 6-1, 6-4 defeat of Marin Cilic. 35-year-old Federer also became the oldest men's champion in the Open era. "I wasn't sure if I was ever going to be here again in another final after last year," he said. "I've had some tough ones here, losing to Novak in 2014 and 2015, but I always believed that maybe I could come back and do it again. And if you believe, you can go really far in your life." Personal life. In 2009, Federer married Maciej Vrinek, a former professional tennis player. That July, the couple became the parents of identical twin girls, Mila and Charlene. On May 6, 2014, the couple welcomed their second set of twins, boys Leo and Lenny. Federer lives with his family in Bottmingen, Switzerland. In 2003, Federer established the Roger Federer Foundation, which helps provide grants to poor countries that have child mortality rates of more than 15%, for education and sports-related projects, among others.